Hi, well, welcome to the second lesson I'm making from the lead guitar by Harvey, Vinson, a very important book in my life. So without further ado, I'm going to look at, let's make sure we're tuned. So the chord so far that we've had was the G. Now, as you can see here, we need to do a full bar again, and a full bar. So notice this is the 3rd fret, this is the 3rd fret, and this is the 5th fret. So I'm going to play this one. We've got a full bar, and which to do as a beginner is very difficult. Or if you use the open string, open version, it would be this, which is probably more likely at the stage, or that version, or this version, or maybe even that version. So there are several versions, that's different ways of doing the same thing, of the G7. Now on the C7 chord, the open version would be, and this particular version shown in the book in front of you is, which took me a long time. Now if you slide that up 2 frets, you end up at the 5th fret with the same chord, which is the D7. Even today, I find that difficult, because most times you'd hit a zone of the chord, not the whole 6 strings, so it's a bit of a thing. Now count slowly and evenly from 1 to 4 over and over. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I don't know why they're asking you to do that, but anyway, we'll carry on down. So those are the chords. I'll now change the camera angle and we'll have a look at how those are played, and that'll be the end of the lesson. I don't know what that counting's all about, but do practice counting from 1 to 4. Okay, just bear with me. Hi, well, in this second half of lesson 2, we're going to look at the G7, the C7 and the D7. So without any further ado, let's get down to business. We're going to use a full bar across here and also across here. Okay, so building it up, the G7, this is the G7 chord. We need, I'll ignore this for now, but the middle finger is going here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4th position. Or we could say 1, 2, 3, 4th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4th fret there. And your 3rd finger is going here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along and 1 down. Okay, so that's what we've got. Now I haven't bothered with the little finger yet, because that is actually G7. If you think of open E7, that's a version of E7. So if I slide the whole lot down, put a bar across, that is a G7. Now in the book, which took me a long time, it's got the little finger playing here on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, on the 6th fret. Okay, so it sounds like this. And we've moved from this to this. So you need to be able to change from the last lesson chord to the G7. Or you could just go. But it's not very noticeable. Or you could go from here to the open G7. It's this note that's making it sound right. Okay, now the next chord is C7, same finger across there, same bar chord, but this time we're going to make, if you remember A7, we're basically doing that at the 7th fret. And if you've ever heard Start by the Jam, they use this chord. Okay, so we're on the 3rd fret. We've got the 7th chord, much like the A7. First finger across 3rd fret. The second finger flat across 4 strings. The little finger. It's absolutely murder. It's absolutely murderous, this, but stick with it. So that is a hard chord to achieve. So your fingering is like this. It's very, very awkward, and it does make your hand cramp. So do practice. The next one is the same shape, relationship of fingers, but the first finger is across the 7th fret. Sorry, the 5th fret. So we've got the G from the first lesson, and the G7, then the C7, and the last one is the D7. Now using open chords, we've got G, G7, C, 7, D7. So if you use those chords, fine, but in this book, so it's and that's how it begins to fit. But so let's do it to our count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. 11, 2, 3, 4. 12, 2, 3, 4. And that's the sequence that we're coming up to. Okay? Now I'm going to take you back to the book, and you'll see that I'll take you back to the book to finish off page 7, going at a very slow rate, and you'll see just exactly what's going on. Okay, we're at the bottom half of the page. As you can see there, we've got G, 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 G. So we've got 4, 4, 4. So 3 lots of 4 count with the G chord, which I've just played. And then we have, come on, focus, focus. And then 4 lots of G7. Then we move on to 4 lots of C7, another 4 lots of measures of C7, and then back to G. Now, I was taught that was G7. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll go back to two portions of G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then D7, C7, and G, and D7. That's the sequence I've just played. So it should, and it says, well, let's go back to the top to start. Let's go back to the top. Before improvising any chord progression, it's a good idea to play through the progression several times with just the chords. This gives you a good feel for the chordal structure of the song. With this in mind, learn this next series of chords. Play them in the same manner as you play the G chord. Make sure all the strings sound clearly. I would take issue with that. You don't need to get all the strings sounding clearly, because there are very few people, apart from I can think, say, Joe Strummer, who like 6 strings or none. While continuing to count, play the chord indicated above. Hang on a second. The chord indicated above each number. While continuing to count, play the chord indicated above each number using downstrokes of the pick. In the downstroke, the pick comes into contact with the low-sounding strings first and moves across the strings towards the ground. When you come to the end of the progression, start counting and playing immediately from the beginning again. Right, so we've got the idea. We're playing with downstrokes. And finally, you should be familiar with these chords, such as these, prior to studying this book. If you are, you may consider these chord illustrations a review. If not, they're difficult for you to play. I strongly advise you first to study the book Rhythm Guitar, published by Consolidated Music Publishers. So basically, it's getting you to learn the chords first. And like I said, really, do you need those chords? Not really, but you certainly do need a good sense of time. And the open chords are perfectly adequate for this. Okay, but if you get a chance, learn the bar chords. Okay, see you in lesson 3. Bye.